Good morning everyone. Today we're going to do some big stretching exercises in Pilates form to help those that are suffering with pain in the back of the leg and the glute muscles, or what we medically call sciatica or piriformis syndrome. If you do have piriformis syndrome, there'll be parts of this where you will find a challenge, but each stretch that I do with you will help you, and it will start to ease the pain, if any. This is one set of exercises as well that you can use every day. I would suggest if you are suffering quite a lot with any of the above symptoms, to maybe do this every day at night time before bed, or especially the laying down ones. So we're now going to work through some exercises, standing first to stretch the whole body, and then we'll be coming down to the mats. So with the feet facing forwards and the heels grounded, this helps you with the feet facing forwards to be in line with your hips and your knees. So we're going to draw a deep breath in, bend through those knees and just come up to the ceiling. I'm still bending through the knees but lengthening through the arms. I know it's not easy to see in the camera this morning, but we're just lengthening both together. And then we're going to draw the arms towards me and push through the posterior. So you're still coming down, but then the target is on the back here, yes? As you come down, notice the gap between my knees is still there. We're going to bring the arms up and stay there a little longer. And then we're going to drop the arms by pulling the tummies in and roll through the back, and then shoulder rolls backwards. So each movement needs to be done slowly. So we're going to go again, deep breath in. Remember what I said about the knees, make sure they're staying forwards, bend through the bottom, stretch through the bottom, don't let the knees do this. So just look down, make sure your knees are open or with a small gap, and then arms a little higher. Now pulse into the bottom, and you'll feel the calves pulsing as well. This is to stretch the back and lower bottom. Now bring the arms down, curling again by tucking in the chin, draw the tummy muscles in, and just roll up the upper body to shoulder rolls next. We're going to repeat this twice, so deep breath in again, coming up to the ceiling, draw the tummy muscles in. Make sure the feet face forwards, bend through the knees, stretch through the bottom, lengthen the arms, cheer up. Feel the work on the back, arms a little higher, and pulse again for about 5 there. Then we're going to drop through the hands, pull in the tummy muscles, and then roll upper body. We're going to do one more round of these. So in breath, stretch. Should already feel better for that lengthening of the spine. Out breath, down. Pulse for 5, or maybe you can go to 6 now. And then hang forwards, tummy in, tuck in the chin and roll up. Now from here, draw the elbows in, and we're going to go into dumb waiter. I've done these before, flag shaped hands, thumb extended to the ceiling, and you're going to go out and back. Now this is actually going to work the muscles we worked yesterday in aerobics. So you're going to open and close, feeling the work on the upper arm muscles. Breathing in and out here. I'm going to do about 6 to 10 of these. Each time you open and release, don't forget the holding there is going to stretch these muscles. And if you have a problem with rotary cuff muscles, then do remember to hold a little further away. I'm going to do 2 more here to make 6 to 10. You can go on another 4 if you need to. You're probably thinking, what's this got to do with sciatica? Nothing, we're just working the upper body, ready for some of the arm work you'll need in order to stretch when we come down to the mats. But this is a real good stretch. At the top half of the body, relax the arms and shoulder rolls forwards. Now again, relaxing through the body. Now if you've got small children at home, or they haven't done any PE and they need to get them watching the video, this will help them in their PE sessions. So we're going to open the legs now a little wider and turn out the heels. Then from here, thrust forwards and then bend up and down. This will stretch the piriformis and the sciatic notch. Now as you go up and down, bending through the knees to the toes, do about 10 to 11 of these just to work the top of the thighs. And we're going to do 4 more. So you should already feel the benefits of the tops of the legs. Then as you come down, we're going to lift hip to hip, pushing all the way into that hip. Now, it's a really good stretch on the piriformis. This muscle attaches from here to the sacroiliac joint. So sometimes as you stretch, you might want to hold there because it will feel really good on the back. If you've recently had children, this is another really good one to work into the lower back after carrying your baby for 9 months or whatever. So as you work through this, this is going to help the lower back and allow you to work on any nerve pain you may have. I mean, if you're fit and healthy, it doesn't matter, it's still a good workout. Now from here, I'm going to turn to make this easier for you to watch. With the body facing the side here, you don't need to turn, I'm just showing you. We're going to thrust forwards and hold it there. You'll get a nice flat tummy. And then we're going to push back and stretch into those muscles I just mentioned. We're going to do 16 of these, thrusting forward and breathe in. Breathe out and thrust back. Now we have done these before, but this nice, easy and slow stretch is going to help your lower back and tummy muscles. So don't rush it. Do remember as you go back to draw that in breath and out breath through the chest so that you've got enough oxygen going to the brain. And we're nearly there. This is 8. So as you do this facing me, don't forget the tighter the pull on the muscles inside the pelvis and into the buttocks, the better you'll feel. And then feel the lower back as those muscles thrust and stretch. Now notice here, I'm not moving my back. My back stays still. It's just from the waist down that's thrusting. So remember that. And I've kept the knees soft throughout. You know, if they're slightly bent, you'll get a better thrust forwards. If they're straight, you can't move, yeah? So bend through the knees and you can thrust a little higher. 4 more, nearly there. Now see if we can hold another 2 breaths just to encourage the lower back and the pelvis to fully stretch. Last one. Now if you did aerobics with me yesterday, we did a lot on lower back, so you're going to feel the release. Now coming into that position, so thrusting away, we're going to rotate all of the hips. Now this will stretch every muscle in the pelvis. So remember as you rotate left to right, those that suffer with arthritis and osteoporosis, don't overstretch. So listen to your body, but this should really help to work through the internal muscles. Otherwise, we're going to do 4 all the way round. And this is a really good one to do with small children because obviously they can copy you. And 1 more. And thrust again like we started from side to side. And really feeling it in the back there. So good. Now I did fail to mention that if you do have slippery socks on like I have, it's a good idea to take them off now because we'll be stretching. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that. And where we're going. So 1 leg in front of the other, can you see that? And bend the front leg. And all I'm going to do is push forwards. Now look what happens to my back. From the neck and the vertebrae all the way down to the hip, that back leg stays in line with the head. That's what I'm looking for. And you're going to pulse forwards. Notice the alignment of the spine. If you can't see yourself, maybe do this afterwards in front of the mirror so that you can see what you're up to. And check the alignment of your body. But here, pushing, you are lengthening the calves and the back of the leg, and that's what we're looking for. You will fire the quadricep muscles in the top of the leg in front, but it is the entire leg muscles on the back that I'm stretching. And from that lower back that we've already rotated and moved side to side on extension. We're going to step in and change those legs now. Remember, make sure you're comfortable before you start, that both heels are down, and check the alignment. Relax the shoulders and push again. Here, feeling the stretch in the calf. Notice as well my heel is not coming off the floor on the back leg. So you're keeping it down to push fully through the calf muscles. And still coming forward, stretching the calves, lower back, back stays straight. Well done, let's just do 2 more here. And then from here, now it's up to you how you do this. Some of you might want to get a chair or table or do this later. I'm going to use my radiator. So I'm going to just lift my leg. I mean, some of you will find that difficult to straighten, or place it on a smaller tool like a chair or stool. And all I'm going to do is lengthen the leg. Now, I'm quite flexible, so it's quite easy for me to do the splits. So I'm not asking you to do that. But what I am asking you to do is to lengthen both legs. Now, the quads here have to stay nice and tight. Doesn't matter what the foot's doing here as long as it's comfortable, but to stretch the top leg. So what I'm looking for is a lengthening of the front leg. Notice here I'm still facing forwards to those toes. I'm going to take it a little further until I can feel the quads fully stretching on the other leg. I'm just going to stay there. If you're going to a chair, you might need to hold the back of the chair so you don't hurt the leg. Now we're going to change legs. So I'm going to turn around, do exactly the same on the other leg. Again, if you're putting it on a chair, make sure you're stretching. Back leg stays straight, foot stays forwards. Now remember, I'm not asking you to go too fast, so we don't want an accident or for you to hurt yourself even more. And then lengthen again. So here is what I'm looking to stretch. This leg here, on the thigh and in the back. And I'm going to go a little further as well to feel that stretch on my hamstring. So again, think about where you can stretch and how you can do that. Now this is side on, or the leg straight in front. So we're now going to stretch the original leg, but this time I'm going to turn my back on you and move the mat slightly. But then lift this leg onto my radiator. You can probably see the foot's on the wall. If you haven't got a radiator, use a chair. And from here, I'm going to stretch these muscles. Both feet should be facing forwards. And then all I'm going to do, encourage from the waist up to lean forwards to that leg. Now look what happens here. We stretch from the bottom all the way to the foot. Now a lot of people have said the last time I taught a class for sciatica that they couldn't get their leg up this high. So I'm just reiterating, keep the leg on a chair and then go forwards again. So what I'm doing is pulling here but leaning into the knee. I'm just going to bring my foot forward so I got the correct alignment. I put it out there so you could see what I was doing. If you've got a chair, you might want the foot on the back of the chair, and then I'm going to try and get my nose to the knee. You won't probably get very far, but you will feel the stretch on the back of the leg and knee. Really good for the back as well. And then we're going to swap legs. So take your time, make sure you've got stability before you go again. Flat foot, hands on the back of the chair, or if you're going to the chair seat itself and not the back of the chair, remember hands either side of the foot. And I'm going to bring the back forwards and hold again. I've got 2 breaths in between every stretch here, so don't forget your breathing. And then again, nose to the knee. And then we're going to go 1 more forward, and then you kind of get to your maximum stretch. And then relax. Now to come out of this, I'm just going to get you to pedal push it. That means put the heels down one at a time, releasing the back of the calf muscles and your knees. Now from here, I'm going to go to the edge of my mat, so you might want to do the same. And what we're going to do here is place the feet forwards, straighten the back for a moment, and just from chin to chest, tuck in and roll. Now we're only going to go one way here, so we're going to come down onto all fours. We're not going to stay here for long, so those with bad knees won't need to. Roll over, flip, and then head on a pillow or block. So we've had a good stretch of those leg muscles that I mentioned at the beginning for those that suffer with lower back problems or pain into your legs or feet. Once the head is down and the chin's up, lift the chin a little higher so that also you're protecting the neck and shoulders here. I'm going to fire my lower tummy muscles and place my hands either side of the bottom to bring the legs up. Now this will already fire in your abdominal muscles, so especially in your rectus abdominis. I'm going to point and go up and down. We've done these before, but this will help to wake up the back muscles and the tummy. If it hurts the hands, just move them from either side of the bottom. And as you drop each leg, out breath, in breath, don't forget to breathe. And then as you're holding the legs up nice and high, just make sure that the heels are in line with the knees. Now all we're doing is just waking up the muscles in the lower part of the body, and you should feel it in the glute muscles as well. I'm going to do another 10 of these. Those that want to progress, after those 10 drops of alternate legs, we're going to do double legs. So if you suffer with any pain in the back right now, use a pillow or ball under the head, okay? And just do 4 more here. So nice and slow movements. And then when ready, double drops for 10. So you're bringing the toes up and down. Remember, don't rush this. You'll feel the tummy muscles burning. Lower back here is protected, yes? Now I'm going to give you, after these 10, a specific exercise for piriformis syndrome, which I've done before, and now I'm going to give you a second one. So I'm going to bring the heels down and remove my hands, and you're going to bring one leg to the ceiling. Now this one is really good to work into this muscle. So you're going to draw a flex foot here, or toes to your head, and then gently pulse. So already you'll feel a stretch from the heel all the way to the bottom, and we're stretching and pulsing. I'm going to do 4 more here, and then once you've done the 4, we're going to swap legs before we do anything else, so that you've lengthened and stretched both adequately. You would have done lots of stretching as we were holding on to what I did, the radiator, you on the chair probably, but this will also lubricate the muscles in the tops of the legs. Now from here, go back to your original leg, and in what we call a developmental stretch, take that leg over the top of the bent knee and hold the calf. Now you'll feel from the bottom to the heel, but mainly to the knee. So we're going to try and push on that knee, but don't push too far, because we don't want it to lock out and then another injury will come. But you will feel a stretch on the outside of your leg. Then we're going to bring it further, so I'm going further to the camera. Watch the bent knee, it's not moving, and again you'll feel it in the lower back and bottom. And then I'm going to go a little further over, so that's where your maximum stretch is in 3 steady progressions. Okay, and we're going to change legs, so you might be able to see this better for the camera there. So we're going to come over and hold, and that gentle stretching here into the lower part of the back. Notice here my head's still facing upright and my hips are doing the same, so think about that. And then we're going to pull it over and hold again. And then 2 breaths here. I can really feel the stretch behind my knee, so be aware of where your discomfort may be. Maybe your muscles won't go over as far as you'd like. And then 1 more stretch. So we target the piriformis, yeah? Really good for sciatica. Now if you did this exercise every day, bit by bit, the muscle will loosen unless you've had it so long that you're not able to move. So we're bringing the legs down. I'm going to remove the block, bring the heels to the bottom and come up into bridge. Once the hands are down and shoulders are down, lift the chin and breathe in and out for 4 breaths, but pull tight on the muscles internally in the pelvis. Now you could pulse this, but it's really difficult. I'm on film here and it doesn't look good. But if you want to go up and down, do. For me, I'm going to go all the way up to stretch fully in the back into that bridge position. And this will stretch the back muscles. And it's fantastic to elongate every single disc in your spine. For those that want the progression, you might want to take the arms over to come up even higher. Those that can't stay there and have a block at home, you could encourage that back to go up even higher with the block there. And then you've got that full stretch through the back. If you do have sacroiliac pain, you mustn't use the block. I'm going to take the arms back to where I was, feeling that stretch through the upper body, yes? Well done. Now I am going to progress today to stretch the lower back into the glutes again. So I'm going to walk the heel to the block and then take the other leg to the ceiling. The balance is required here, but it is a really good stretch on the leg to the ceiling, but also the top of the thigh, the leg that's holding there, is building muscle strength. So I'm going to draw the foot further to the head. And repeat one more time. So think about the developmental stretch I did earlier. I've done exactly the same here while I'm in bridge. So other leg's going to do the same. Watch your balance as you change legs. Don't forget to draw the tummy muscles in. If you don't have a block at home, or if you're finding this too difficult, stay in bridge position like we started. And again, draw that foot to the head. Don't forget your breathing, as mentioned earlier. And then we're going to do one more stretch. Feel in the back muscles. Then come down to bridge and remove the block. I'm going to place my block though under the top of my thighs. You may want to use it up with a pillow, and then stretch the whole body. Breathe in and out for 4 breaths. Now this stretch as well is pulling nicely on my abdominal muscles as well as in the back. So do this. This is a good one to do at bedtime, in the morning or at night. So fully stretch before you go to sleep. It helps you sleep better. Now I'm going to come up by bending the knees and removing the block, and then use my tummy muscles and my chest to come up. Now from here, work in your back. You may want to place a ball behind the back. All I'm going to do is lean and then bring the legs up. And this is a good stretch again on the muscles mentioned, but also in the back. And we're just going to hold that position there into seated bridge. There is a progression with this, and this might be your max. Or if you can't stay there, which some people find is difficult, drop the legs like we did earlier, yeah, and do about 30 of them. Otherwise, I'm going to stretch the toes and the feet and try and reach for the toes with my hands, stretching fully. Now, a lot of people in my classes normally roll over by now. So don't do this progression if you can't balance, or use the ball behind your back as taught to so many times. This will help with your balance and control. And already 20 minutes of stretching, you should feel the benefits, especially in the back of the legs. I'm going to go a little further over my toes so that my fingers are touching the inside of my foot or the bridge. And then still trying to work on my tummy muscles and top of the thighs, and stay there for another 5 to 6 breaths. So remember the alternative, if you can't stay here, bending the knees is where you need to be. So just demo that again, hands under here, yeah? You might still be doing this one. If you are, I suggest take the feet down. I'm going to stay there just another 2 breaths. Now we're going to pull down one leg at a time and roll the back forwards. I've done this loads of times in other videos. But here, as you drop the chin to the chest, you fully stretch all of the muscles here, but specifically again to stretch the sciatic notch. If you flex the feet back, you'll feel that stretch behind the knee to the bottom. We're going to go even further down. So I'm going to place my hands one at a time, palm facing up under the calves, and then draw the nose to the knee. Again, rolling through the spine and dropping the shoulders. See if you can go lower in your own time. This is a really good stretch for your vertebrae. And again, deep breaths in and out, feeling that stretch and lengthening the legs. And then from here, I want you to sit and face me, so you're on your side, and bend both knees. I did this a little while ago, so you've got 2 triangles with your legs, yeah? And then this hand either here, or if you have a shoulder problem, go down to the elbow. Now, if you still can't stay there, then use the block you used earlier at the end of the mat and then head down. We'll be able to do this same exercise laying down. So it depends on what out of those 3 stages you choose. We're going to take the top leg off and we're going to bring it forward. So you're fully stretching in that leg. And we're going to go forward and back if you don't have too much pain. Now, if you can feel pain as you go back, it means you've gone too far. We're going to do 15 of those swings. So working through the hip, forward and back. And again, if you have hypermobility, you'll feel a clicking in the hip, so don't overstretch, listen to the body. And if you have arthritis or osteoporosis, please don't push too far back, because you will also hurt your back. We've got 6 more here. Well done. So really feel the benefit in the hip and buttocks now. Last 2. And then I'm going to do 15 on the other side. So bring your knees in first, drop one triangle, and then bring the other triangle out, and then repeat again. So either here or to the elbow, whichever's good for you. 15 swings, really good for the hip and bottom, this one. Might even want to place your hand on your hip to help balance you. Four more. Now I'm going to go back to the other side. This time I'm going to go down to my elbow as well and straighten both legs to the side. Now this isn't specifically good for piriformis, but really good for the hip. So I'm going to bring the hand in front of me and point the toe to stay up and hold it there, but then flex the foot, come down and hold it here. Notice here, not once do my feet touch, but I point up and flex down into a side kick, pulling all the muscles in the side of the leg. I'm going to stay there for 30 lifts until your leg goes a little sore. Now it's usually at this point as you're lifting the leg up and down that you start thinking about all the things you've got to do for the day and all the jobs that you're looking at doing. If you've joined me today. Now if you are on replay, doesn't matter when you do these exercises, in fact you can do them every day if you suffer with sciatica or piriformis syndrome. And here as you lift up and down, you will target to strengthen lower back, which is usually where sciatica comes from. So if you have problems with the back, the nerve pain travels down the leg or the side of the leg, doesn't have to be in the back. Now I'm halfway, so that's 15. We have 10 more. Can we do this? Start to feel a numb bum now. This is good. Stay with me, don't give up. And maybe don't rush it, just slow down just a little bit. Now try and clear your mind and think about the muscles in the top of the leg now, because that's where you need to target your mind for. It will be here. There's a little tight and uncomfortable. 2 more. And then we're going to do 30 on the other side. So bend the knees in, remove the block to the other end if you need it for your head or pillow, and then repeat again. We can do this laying down, remember. So remember to stack your hips. As you come up and down, just think about where your balance is and breathe in to take the leg up, out breath to come down. I can really feel that working in my bottom and side of the leg now. So this is really going to help you to get that bottom and hip moving. Really good to strengthen leg muscles as well. This is one exercise that's really good if you suffer with cellulite. Well, this one will tone those muscles so that the dimples disappear. Just a little tip there. And most of the reason why we get cellulite is due to too much fat in our diet. So butters and oils, animal fat, etc. We've got halfway now, so 15 more. Should feel a nice burn in the bottom and leg. If it gets too much for you, have a little rest and then carry on. We've got 5 more left. I'll count with you. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to go on to hands and knees. Now this exercise does take a little bit of power, and there are 3 stages of it. First thing you need to do is keep a gap between the knees and the hands in line with the shoulders. I'm going to stretch the leg backwards. Now I'm just going to rock into the heel, coming on and off that heel, pushing through the leg. Only about 6 of these to stretch, so when you change legs, do the same. Feel that work into the leg and bottom. Now I'm going to do gentle pulses here. Now this will target the pain, if you like, in the back and piriformis, and the sciatic notch. So don't stay there too long. You're kind of feeling it, coming off of it, going back to it. And I'm just going to do 20 pulses before I change legs. Really good to strengthen lower back. Other leg when ready, so 20 pulses, push through and then lift. Notice here I'm keeping my head still. I'm looking down and the neck is in line with my bottom. So you do need to check your alignment on this one. A good one to do in front of the mirror. And this is where I would normally come and correct you pre-COVID problems. Nearly there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we stretch out the spine, keeping a gap through the knees. Lengthen the arms, forehead down. And now the whole of the spine is stretching. I'm going to stay here 2 more breaths. And then I'm going to go into a downward dog stretch, which is really good for the back and the leg muscles. So we're going to bring the heels down. Those that can't get the heels quite down, just push through gently in what we call pedal pushes here again. We used these earlier on. Otherwise, drop the head through the arms and feel the stretch. Draw the tummy muscles in, and if you can, look down to the knees, drop the head. And then I'm going to walk my feet towards my hands. Notice I haven't moved the hands, but now draw the hands over the feet. Tuck in the chin and try and get the nose to the knees again, stretching the same muscles in the legs as mentioned earlier. Now bend the knees and roll up to finish. Draw the tummy muscles in so you can feel them tight. Head should be the last thing to lift, and then roll back with your shoulders. I hope this is helpful, and thank you for joining me this morning. It's just only half hour of exercise this morning, so enough to get all the other jobs done. Take care, and we'll see you again 10 o'clock tomorrow. Bye bye for now.